morning everyone. Today we will discuss what are the most practical sports car hold hatches in my opinion. Well, what do they need to have? So first off, I like the hold hatch philosophy because it has a hatchback. There are three things that are very practical in my opinion, being a hatchback, being a liftback and being a station wagon. And all those three have in common that they can open the trunk, and the trunk also has access to the rear seat. So in other words, you can place bigger items in your car and you have more room for storage, easier access, and you can also fold down the chairs and to increase it even more. And that's the most practical configuration in my opinion, and the best way to get that, or even the only way to get that, is to put the engine in the front, unless you have an electric car. For example, the Tesla Model S that I had engine at the front and at the rear, but it could also be had with only engine at the rear. And because the electric engine is so small and can sit so low into the chassis at the rear, you don't lose that functionality, and you still have that trunk to store things in. So, bottom line, that is the main message to give you. So it's quite a quick message, but now we'll explain why this is so practical. If you have a car that is able to take a lot of stuff with it, you don't need, for example, a van for the bigger loads, because you can also manage in your smaller car, because it is a station wagon, hatchback or liftback. Perhaps you have to ride a little more, because you have to do the trip multiple times to still take all the capacity that the bus or the van will take in one turn. But you also have the benefit of a car for all the other situations, that it's lighter, lower to the ground, more sporting and better on fuel. So that's it in a nutshell. Of course, there are also some vans that are quite sporty. I know that Opel, also known as Vauxhall, had the Opel Zafira, OPC, Opel Performance Center, that was the abbreviation used there. And that was quite a sporting car, but in the bench, of course, it's so high, so it's harder to make it curve the bench as a lower slung car can, but that's also a very nice compromise. You also have the special mention or the Civics, especially those with the magic seats. So that is that you can fold the back seats flat like that, like normal hatchbacks can do, but you can also fold the seats where you're sitting on up, and then you can place higher items in them in the rear from the sides, and when you use the doors there. And if so, you can, for example, put a small bike in there in one piece, or higher plants can sit there very comfortably, because you don't only have the height that you can also have in the footwell with a normal hatchback, but you also have a little bit more of the width, because you can flip up the seats where you normally would sit upon. So that's a very nice additional concept that you can have. Benefit of a liftback is that you can have a more elegant, more aerodynamic, more sporty coupe-like design. For example, Tesla Model S, it does not look like it has this hatchback features because it is a liftback. All other cars like that are the Audi S7, especially the SPORTBACK, which is a little bit longer and also offers those 5 doors that are very practical. That's another thing. For a practical car, I would recommend, especially if you have children. If you don't have children, you do not need it that much, or it can even be better off with the 3-door configuration, because it might be a little bit lighter, the 3-door, and also you have longer doors because they don't have to be cut short, because you have a 5-door configuration. But if you have children, it's very easy that they can go in and out of the car very fast. You don't have to step out, you don't have to fold fold forward the front seats, so that's a very good way to do this. And it makes it quicker, safer, and also a lot more functional, especially in the rain or bad conditions. You want to be in and out as quick as possible. And also if you are driving on busy streets or going to pick them up or deliver them to school, this is a good way to approach this. Another thing, of course, for the practical car is that it is not too heavy. If you have a car that's not too heavy, that's good on fuel consumption, but also on moving parts, and also the service intervals that you have to give are often a lot cheaper when your car is lighter. But next to that, you get a much more sporting experience. Why? It feels more direct, feels more lively, it is faster in acceleration, deceleration, in turn-in. So this is a very nice thing to consider. Hope this video helps. It gives you a little bit of insight how you can manage practical roominess in your car, a car that you can use on a daily, so it can be broadly applicable, and a car that has sporting credentials, so it puts a smile on your face. I think that's a very good mix, regardless if it is one of the fastest cars. If it puts a bigger smile on your face, that's something to consider. Founder and Car, out.